Hi, happy day to you. I am Manju Sharma, and in this session, I will help you understand the importance of parallelism in a sentence. This is a part of the series on sentence correction, which plays a significant role in the various competitive exams. If you take the word parallelism, it is derived from the word parallel, which means equidistant throughout, and a balance is maintained. In English, when we think of parallelism, that is exactly what we have to keep in mind. We have to see that a balance is maintained between the first part of the sentence and the second part. We will discuss in what all ways can this balance be maintained in a sentence. Actually speaking, parallelism is a very small topic but an important one. It just has one single underlying principle which says that all the parts of a sentence must be uniform in construction. That is, the first part of the sentence should be in balance with the second part of the sentence. For example, Aishwarya is a wonderful actor, dancer, and sings well too. Nothing wrong with the sentence because it looks and sounds correct. But if you observe, we are talking of three elements that describe Aishwarya. But as per the principle of parallelism, when you use two or three words in a series or as a series to talk about the same thing with the same objective, then those words should be in the same part of speech and be uniform in nature. So the correct usage can be, Aishwarya is a wonderful actor, dancer, and singer, where all the three elements are in the noun form. Or, Aishwarya acts, dances, and sings well, where all the three elements are in the verb form. There is another way of writing it. Aishwarya is good at acting, dancing, and singing. Now in this sentence, all the three elements are in the gerund form. Take another example. To say that I do not deserve this award is being unfair. A very simple sentence again. Here you see that the first part of the sentence has an infinitive to say, while the second part has a gerund being. Now this is faulty parallelism. In one single sentence, it is incorrect to use the verbs in two different forms. Bring in a uniformity in the sentence by either changing both verbs to infinitives. That is, to say that I do not deserve this award is to be unfair, or change both to gerunds. Saying that I do not deserve this award is being unfair, where saying and being are in the gerund form. In fact, if you have an answer option which removes the word being itself, that can be taken as the best answer. To say that I do not deserve this award is unfair. Keep your sentences simple. Another example. He drives fast and rash. Again, a very simple sentence. Now break the sentence in two parts and read it again. First part of the sentence is, he drives fast, and second sentence can be, he drives rash. Now you observe that the two elements in this sentence seem to be describing how he drives. So obviously we need two adverbs. So he drives fast is correct. But if I say he drives rash, that becomes incorrect because rash is an adjective. And an adjective cannot describe a verb. So the correct sentence will be, he drives fast and rashly. Or if I want to use the two elements in the adjective form, I say, he is a fast and rash driver. Another example. The French, the Dutch, Spanish, and Indians are invited for the party. Now, what do you think is the fault in this sentence? The four elements that are being spoken about are the people from four countries. Now, if you observe, two elements, that is French and Dutch, both have the definite article the before it, whereas the other two, that is Spanish and Indians, do not have any article before it. Now, this is where the fault lies. When speaking of more than two elements, we cannot have a few with an article before it while the rest without an article. So to bring about a balance in parallelism, we add the definite article the before all the four elements, or remove all the articles except the first one, which holds good for the rest too. So the corrected sentence goes like, the French, the Dutch, the Spanish and the Indians are invited for the party. And another way of correcting this sentence is, we can remove all the others articles except the first one. So we say, the French, Dutch, Spanish and Indians are invited for the party. So this brings about a balance in the sentence. Another example, his income is smaller than his wife. Now in this sentence, there is a comparison being made. The word smaller is in the comparative form, so we know that something is being compared over here. So here, what is being compared to what? One side we have his income, and on the other side we have his wife. Now this is an irregular comparison, since we cannot compare a person's income to his wife. Though the idea implied is clear, but the usage is faulty. So if I have to make a comparison and one side I have his income, then obviously his wife's income should come on the other side. So the correct statement will be, his income is smaller than his wife's, that is wife with an apostrophe S. Another example of faulty parallelism. Earlier, science was taught by the textbook method, while now the laboratory method is applied. Now observe the two parts of the sentence. The first part of the sentence is, earlier science was taught by the textbook method. And the second part of the sentence is, while now the laboratory method is applied. Now here the first part of the sentence, if you see, is in the passive voice because we have a by over there. Whereas the second part is in the active voice. Now this is faulty. You cannot use two different voices in the same sentence. It has to be the same voice throughout, and you should always prefer to use the active voice. So again, there are two ways of bringing a balance in this statement. First is, earlier science was taught by the textbook method, while now it is taught by the laboratory method. So both the parts of the sentence are in the passive voice. Or another way of correcting this sentence is, earlier, textbook method was used to teach science, while now the laboratory method is applied. Now in this sentence, both the parts of the sentence, they have been used in the active voice. Parallelism can be applied in series where nouns, adjectives, gerunds, adverbs, etc. are used. Always remember to maintain the balance between the first and the second part of the sentence by stating all the elements in the same part of speech. Now take another example. Either you must grant his wish or you will incur his ill will. Now if you observe, the word either in this sentence has not been used in the correct sense over here. Remember that words like either or neither, only, both, these kind of words have to be used carefully. Depending on their position in a sentence, the meaning changes. Now, these words should be used immediately before a word or words which really indicate a choice. So, in the given statement above, the word either is immediately used before you. So, is there a choice of any other person in the statement? No, there is no one else. So, here lies the fault. Now, where exactly lies the choice? The choice is in granting his wish or incurring his ill will. So either should be placed before these two choices. So the correct statement will be, you must either grant his wish or incur his ill will. So what do you have here? A crisp sentence which is to the point. Avoid redundancy at all costs. Go in for statements that are clear, precise and concise. The functions of the elements also must be parallel. You can join physical description to physical description, but not to feelings. That is, you cannot combine emotions and actions in the same sentence. For example, Ravi likes cakes, loves chocolates, hates milk, and plays the guitar. So if you observe, we have three elements of emotions in the first part of the sentence, that is, likes, loves, and hates. Whereas the latter part of the sentence tells you that he plays the guitar. And plays is an action word, so here lies the fault. The sentence should be, Ravi likes cakes, loves chocolates, and hates milk. That's all. He plays the guitar will be an independent sentence since we cannot combine actions and emotions in the same sentence. Last but not the least, remember that what you hear is what you speak, and what you speak is what you write. Therefore, to excel in the English language, it is very important for you to develop a healthy habit of conversing in English in order to overcome the fear of the language itself. I hear many people say, I have finished my work completely. Now, if you have finished the work, it means that you have completed it. And if you have completed a work, it means you have finished it. So avoid redundancy in your speech. Another example, we descended down the mountain. Now, descend itself implies coming down. So avoid using down after descend. The sentence should be, we descended the mountain. So be very careful where words are concerned. Avoid using unwanted words. Be little aware of what words you are using. Pick up the answer choices that are crisp and precise, and I'm sure you will end up with the correct answers. Happy learning to you all.